started. It looks like we've got a good crowd tonight. I'm always proud of a good crowd. Now I want to say something right off the bat before we get this thing rocking and rolling up here. We've got two candidates out there. We've got Jimmy Carson and we've got Wes Ehlers. And I want to tell both of you something. You have run an explicitly clean campaign. I haven't heard a dirty word on either side. Y'all are very good gentlemen. And I want you to know all four of us that we left up here can work with either one of you. And just thank you for a good campaign, and thank both of you, that you're both willing to come out, roll your sleeves up, and get into this public arena. We can't wait for them to get in there, can we? But best luck to both of you, because you have run a good campaign. Unless one of you got some kind of bombshell ad tomorrow for you, then I'll pull my statement. But thank y'all, thank you.
Even wearing a matching shirt.
And your families. Hey, look, they're on the same team. Well, we're going to call the meeting to order. We're going to start with a prayer, and I'm going to do that. Once I'm finished with the prayer, we're going to stand and face the flag right here. And we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. So if y'all would join me in prayer, please. Dear Father, we thank you so very much that we have freedoms. The freedoms that this country has are the best of all. Nobody has the freedoms we have and the abilities we have to worship, to assemble, as we are tonight. Father, this America may not be perfect, but it's your America. In God we trust. There's still many, many, many of us that believe that, dear Father. Father, I want to pray for each and every elected official from the White House right down here with us, Father. Each and every one of them, Father. Lord, you would just lead us and guide us. And Father, that we would make the right decisions which would suit you best, dear Father. And for the right reasons, Father, for our bosses, the public. And Father, we want to remember our soldiers, those all around this globe that are right here in America, but especially, Father, let's pray for those that are in harm's way. Father, that you would bring them back alive, bring them back here on this soil, their home soil, back okay. And Father, I do pray for their families, I pray for their friends, and I pray for this country that awaits their safe return back here. Now, Father, lead us and guide us as we have this meeting. And Father, we pray in Jesus' sweet and holy name. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and you may be seated. I'd like to recognize both people in the audience. I see my good friend Bill. Bill, are the veterans here with you tonight?
got one.
You got one?
You don't need one Vietnam veteran, they tough.
They tough, aren't they?
Exactly right.
Exactly. We got a Vietnam vet right up here sitting on this board. But thank you guys for what y'all have done for this country. We wouldn't be here. And I know one of you is from the greatest generation that we talked about. And so thank y'all very much. We've got some young people here. Y'all all running for mayor. What you doing? We could use you. I could. Y'all with ABAC, or you here for the proclamation? See, that's a good yes. Well, welcome to y'all as well. We have, we need to have the approval of the council agenda. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda with the exception of the change that Rona submitted to us for item number 6. But everything else has submitted.
And everybody got this, didn't they, number 6? Okay.
Second that.
I've got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by raising your right hand, saying aye. Aye. That is unanimous. Now we have the presentation of the proclamation for the Tifton County High School Key Club. Well, I read that. Here it is right here. And I'll ask Ronaldo Del Toro. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Did I get it close?
Close enough.
Gator people call me Carter. I called Canada the other day. Reynaldo Del Toro. Oh, it is Juanes, but all right, I want to read this. Whereas Key Club International, which is sponsored by Kiwanis International, is the largest high school service organization in the world and is observing November the 4th through the 8th, 2013 as Key Club Week. And whereas the members of Key Club of Tift County High School are part of the international organization of more than 250,000 high school students dedicated to serve with purpose children, their homes, schools, and communities, seeking primacy to the human and spiritual rather than the material values of life. That says a lot. Whereas Key Club members promote the development of student leaders, positive role models, intercultural understanding and cooperation, and operations for fellow personal growth and professional development. And whereas each member contributes his or her time, talent, and treasure to the community and school each year. Whereas the Key Club International major emphasis program, children, their future, our focus is designed to involve Key Club members in the challenges facing young children. And whereas the service provided by the Tift County High School and Key Club has a positive impact on our community and citizens. Now therefore I, James T. Cater Jr., James, hereby proclaim November the 4th through the 8th, 2013 as Key Club Week in Tifton and call upon our citizens to support the efforts of the Tift County High School Key Club as they prepare themselves to be better, more responsible citizens through service to our homes, schools, and community. Just give yourselves a hand. Let's everybody do that. Up here and read these type of things, but understand too that this is supported by all four of these city council people. And they read these things. They read them before I read them. So they're all a part of this as well. I guess we want to get a picture of you and me doing this. We've got a see you, Lynn. Y'all stand up back there, please. All y'all in the Key Club. Thank y'all. All the schools I go to, I always say, our youth is our future. And it really is. It really is. We're dependent on that. Did you want to say a few words?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Reynaldo Del Toro, and I am the president at the Tift County High School Key Club. I am also the Kiwanis Family and Major Emphasis Committee Chair of the Georgia District and the Lieutenant Governor of Division 4, which includes Tift County, Tift area, Valdosta Lowndes, Highland Christian Academy, Citizens Christian Academy, Camden County, Cook County, and today Ware County has been added to my division. So I'm getting more schools. Back there is Carmen Chi, my vice president, Kaylee Hobby, my editor and public relations, and Hart Tortigliano, my junior class representative. So as it says right here, Key Club is sponsored by Kiwanis International. We are indeed the largest student-led service organization. What we do in Tift County, this month we have been raising money for the Illuminate Project, or Trick or Treat for UNICEF. But the Illuminate Project is a project started with Kiwanis International and UNICEF that aims to eliminate maternal and neonatal tetanus by 2015. Our goal is to raise $110 million. As of the last update that we have received, we have raised $41 million. So we're getting there, and we're hoping to achieve our goal by 2015. So we have been raising money for that. We still have our trick-or-treat boxes, and I forgot to bring mine in. I was gonna ask for some donations. And another project that we dedicate ourselves to is we go and visit the Georgia Sheriff's Youth Home down in Hihara, the Boys Ranch, and we also raise some money for them and take them any needs that they have. We also work with the animal shelter here. And, of course, internationally, in Acquisition, we have so many more projects that what we do here is we also have to adopt a mile, so we have teachers that
Mr. Mayor and Council, I'd just like to say I was in Key Club when I was in high school, and you see how I turned out. So, it's a good organization.
That's an open-ended protection. No, that's true. This is good. Presentation of the proclamation designating November as Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And I have that here, and I wonder if Bonnie is gonna join me up front.
And can I also?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, Carla Cooper's one of our prime volunteers. She helped us.
And listen, she's in there. What is jump aerobics and stuff like that.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You've almost got on property.
Yep.
I have one of those in land, but I don't have mine. All right, let me read the proclamation first. And, bring anybody else with you? That's fine, that's fine. Proclamation of the City of Tifton, Georgia, designating November 2013 as Alzheimer's, I'm pronouncing it,
Alzheimer's.
Disease Awareness Month. Whereas Alzheimer's is an incurable and fatal brain disease that causes memory loss, disorientation, decreased judgment, and difficulty speaking. And whereas more than 5 million Americans are now living with Alzheimer's disease, close to 200,000 in Georgia alone, and care partners who provide 17 billion hours of unpaid care at home, valued at a cost to $3 billion. Whereas the care provided by family caretakers helps offset the impact of our community budgets at a time we can ill afford the rising cost of health care. And whereas with early detection and diagnosis, individuals and families can gain access to treatment, medications, enroll in critical research trials, fully participate in planning for the future, and receive help and support from the Alzheimer's Association Georgia chapter. And whereas we need more individuals and families to know they can get help at no cost from Alzheimer's Association, and that there is hope on the horizon for advancements in research. Now therefore, I, J.G. Jamie Cater Jr., Mayor of the City of Tifton, do hereby proclaim November 2013 as Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month in our community. In witness whereof, I hereby sign my hand and cause the official seal of the City of Tifton to be fixed the 4th day of November 2013, City of Tifton.
Thank you.
You have a few words?
I just would like to say this is actually the 30th anniversary of President Reagan declaring Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month. And many of us in the room are old enough that we can remember that, and it's a good thing that we can remember that. There are those that are losing their memory, and this is what we are here to bring awareness to, is the Alzheimer's. And another big important thing to know is that the Alzheimer's Association South Georgia chapter is located in Tifton, serving 35 counties in South Georgia. So it's good to have all that close. So if anybody in this area calls the 1-800 number 272-3900, that is our biggest job, is helping people understand what they're going through with Alzheimer's disease. And we're right downtown on 2nd Street, and we're glad to be close to help people. They're very surprised. Sometimes they think they're calling a national number, and they get us right here in Tifton. And after hours, when we're not in the office and on weekends, it does roll over to the national office. But thank you so much for doing this. The state of Georgia has decided to go purple for Alzheimer's this month. And we've got a lot of purple partners here in Tifton already. One is Tennyson Nissan, is going to be giving $50 for every new or used vehicle sold this month. Ruby Tuesday is having some give back Friday nights, every Friday night in November. And a lot of other businesses, Dave's Coffee House is selling, the Coffee and Bread House is selling the Forget-Me-Not stickers and signs. So we feel like businesses that are joining in with it. We're open to having some more. Carla's one of our facilitators for the support group and has been a caregiver herself. So would you like to share what that is?
Some of you may know that Randy, Randa, and I are caregivers. I include Randa because certainly she has felt the effects of caregiving. She was uprooted from her home 7 years ago to move in with Randy's mother, who has Alzheimer's. She's had to deal with living with a grandmother who doesn't know her, who can't bake cookies with her or do all the things grandmamas do. Alzheimer's is the only cause of death among the top 10 in America without a way to prevent it, cure it, or even slow its progression.
Appreciate that. And all the hard work that y'all do, let's give them a big Let me point out something. Guy whose first name is hard to say, that's either blue or purple. I think it's purple. We're gonna let you give $10 for this lady.
Sounds good. And we can get the key card.
Thank y'all. God bless.
Thank you.
I am going to move citizen input up and do employee presentation next. I was informed that several people that were here to speak had to leave the job site and needed to get back. Is that okay, Ms. Roman? Okay, so at this time, we're going to go ahead and take citizen input. We feel like that this is a chance for our citizens to approach us and talk to us. It's always good to see a crowd this size out in the audience. But we work for y'all. We don't work for us. We work for y'all. And so we enjoy hearing anything that you may be interested in or need to talk to us about. At this time, I've got, Ms. Rona, I just have one up here.
Let me check again.
Okay.
I think it's blank, but.
And while you're checking, John Lowe is online. John, if you'd like to step up and give your name and your location where you're discussing. And we'd be glad to hear you. Now, the rules are, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're the timekeeper, and he'll keep up to the 5 minutes.
And my name is John Lowe. My family and I run businesses at 610 West 7th Street here in Tifton. We've been there for about 7 years and been in business in Tifton almost 11 years now. We in the process of obtaining a building permit to expand my business into having more shops, so we're obtaining a Arctic dealership, so we need more room. I talked to Mr. Crow, and he informed me that you can only build or cover 50% or less of your own property with a building, parking lot, or anything that's impervious. And that shocked me, but I was able to combine my two lots in order to build a building on one. But now I'm faced with having a parking lot that's either going to be be unpaved and have dirt or just gravel on it. So the land development code as it stands right now, it only allows you to build on 50% of the property. My understanding is the land development code can be changed. I talked to Mr. Reiner and Mr. Crow, and they both said that they were, Mr. Reiner informed me that they've come up with a solution to this problem, that it can be changed, and as needed. So that's what I came up here for. I know of several businesses that also they're trying to expand. And I've talked to them, and they were very shocked to find out that 50% of the property is all they could build on without having some other provision for it. So there are several projects that I know of that are very big that are going on now that will not be able to carry out the project if this continues to stand. So that's basically what I was trying to do. I talked to several and that's what we're trying to do, trying to get it right to pay the parking lot.
So he needs something from us.
What we have to do, Mayor, is, land development code, that's a dynamic document, and as we go through it and we continue to grow, we're gonna find areas that need to be tweaked and corrected. This happens to be one of those areas, and we're gonna bring, staff will bring to the council at this coming workshop a recommendation to change that code so that it will accommodate the needs of stormwater management and stormwater runoff, as well as allow the business owners to develop their property. I mean, there's no one that's gonna buy commercial property and only gonna be able to develop half of it.
Thank you.
So, but between the landscape codes and stormwater management codes that we have to deal with, we'll come up with a proposal for council to consider that we think will correct the problem, and that'll be ready for this coming workshop in November. We're gonna have a special call meeting in November to consider that, or if you'd like to wait till the December council meeting to consider it, we can go either way with it.
John, how time sensitive is this?
Well, I'm gonna have units on the ground in about 2 weeks, So I'm gonna roll them in there, roll them out, so, as quickly as possible. I have an answer. I have a contractor standing by when I can give him an answer, to go ahead and.
Of course, this is the Thanksgiving season, but possibly once we do a workshop, maybe we could have a special call meeting. Could we have a meeting that night? Could we do a public session that night? Just go ahead and vote on it?
I think it's dangerous to give us something to look at and vote 5 minutes late. I need
Doesn't planning and zoning have to have involvement?
Does the planning and
I'm
zoning?
sure this is zoning action. I don't believe so, but it's something I'd like to look at. Probably the better thing to do with let's go ahead and let me look at whether or not it has to go to planning and zoning. I don't think it does. We can go ahead and workshop it and certainly be ready to vote on it first meeting in December.
And it won't take us 2 weeks to get this change, this recommendation to you.
Yeah.
So we can get it to you ahead of time before the workshop.
That would be good.
So you can have time to study it.
If we can get it ahead of the workshop, then maybe we
If you
could.
have any questions, then we're certainly available to answer any questions or concerns you may have as well.
Just like to expedite it.
But that's good. We probably get something to council well in advance of the workshop, perhaps maybe then be in a position to take some action if there's no
Okay.
changes.
Okay, in the meantime, you're gonna make sure it doesn't have to go before zoning or anything. I wouldn't think it would, but who knows? But, John, thank you for coming up. We're gonna work on it as quick as we can.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any other citizen input? I don't have any names, but is there anyone else out there? No more names? Okay, we'll close the public citizen input at this time. And we'll go back to the Employee of the Month presentation. Did I have that up here wrong? Oh. Recognition of your outstanding work performance for going above and beyond. The mayor, city council, and city manager recognize Danny Kay as Employee of the Month for October 2013. Thank you. Give me a hand, guys.
I just wanted to say why we nominated Danny was that there was a citizen. He noticed someone sitting at a stop sign on Rainwater Road, Baldwin Drive, and people going around. Well, he investigated, and the woman was not physically able to drive. So he pulled over and sat there and called 911 to stay with it till 30 minutes from now. I thought that was a great thing.
That is. Is that something that when your parents raised you, or is that something you got to work hard on?
It's hard. Basketball going around. I sat up, that's what you're all right. The chief volunteer was it, whatnot. Don't know, I'm gonna stay with it, got it.
So many people that ride by.
I'll take a second that.
And as you said, on mayor, council, city manager, very.
That's a good Samaritan story.
It's really is. Something to hear it is stated. Right. We're going to move in now to the session where we do the city manager update. Mr. Larry Ryder is our city manager, and he'll give us an idea of kind of what's going on out of his office.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I got a little handout here for you. You have to, you can't look at it, but, make a presentation.
Turn it down, huh?
Review something. And if it's okay with y'all, I'm gonna stand over here so I have my back to it.
So that's a good idea.
Mayor, council, you'll recall the last workshop, I told you they're gonna bring you some good stuff. We're gonna be happy, as Uncle Si says on Duck Dynasty. And, how many people watch Duck Dynasty? I thought so. Anyway, I want to kind of give you a report card, if you will, on what's happened since like 2008, and then specifically for the past 2 years. On what we've done, and when I say we, staff and council has done, to serve the citizens of Tifton as best we can. You'll recall in 2008 when the economy crashed, and we had the E&E committees going around, and they had 132 recommendations that we could do as the city of Tifton to operate more efficiently and at a much less reduced cost of operations. And for those of you who may not have been aware of that, there was about 30-something members on that committee, if I recall correctly. And they actually came up with some good things. And fortunately, we were already doing a lot of those things. We had already taken a lot of what they were doing, what their recommendations were, into consideration of the operation of the city. Specifically, in 2008, we actually froze hiring of non-essential personnel. And what that's resulted in is a reduction of city and Tifton employees. We had a peak payroll of $9.4 million in 2008. Today, this year, last pay period, and that was with over 300 employees, last pay period, we cut 195 checks. So we reduced our staffing by over 100 employees. Some of that was done through right sourcing, we call it now, privatization of functions that the city does, specifically our wastewater operations, our collection distribution systems. About 54 of those employees were a result of that. And since 2011, we have had a $662,000 savings in salaries. That does not include benefits. Excuse me. A few months ago, we had a request from council to look at our customer service policies. You know, we had a problem with, I don't know, 300 or 400 cutoffs a month in our customer service areas because we'd allow people to carry those unpaid balances for up to 3 months. Well, we went through a very stringent process, and we reduced that number down from 3 months to 2 months, and now we're down to 1 month. And now that we've got a handle on that, we actually have gone back in the past 2 or 3 weeks, reviewed our policy again, and we've come up with a way that's going to make us more customer service friendly, if you will. And the policies that we've put in place allow us to have real-time cutoffs. And because of that policy alone, we have, in the month of October, we were able to not have to disconnect 55 customers because they had unpaid water bills. So that's a plus. We're customer friendly. We're moving forward. So, you have revised the alcohol ordinance, making it more friendly. We extended hours of operation, and I know for a fact that we have one a licensed holder out there that's very happy with the change. As a matter of fact, he said it saved his business. I'll leave that at that. We've implemented a new land development code. That was a major undertaking. It's been going on for, I don't know, Bert, what, three years to get that done? And even though we've spent all this time on it, we still find, as we see tonight, that we have even more tweaking of this code, but it's much better than what we had in the past. From January 2012, since January 2012, we've issued 311 permits for remodeling or new construction. The commercial remodels, 130 permits, that's almost $16 million in permits. Commercial new construction, 28 permits for almost $12 million. Residential remodels, 129 permits. That's 31,734 square feet of construction. Residential new construction, 24 permits for $4.5 million. So we are moving forward, and things are happening. Since January 2012, we've had 216 new businesses. If you want the names of all 216 of them, we can give them to you. A few of the larger ones are Publix, TJ Maxx, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Firehouse Subs, and Olive Garden. All of these are, we're still, even in these economic times, we're still coming to Tifton to do business. We've expanded our natural gas line to Omega and Titan. I can tell you there are some very happy farmers out there right now that are tickled to death about that new gas line. And they're paying for it. We have an updated contract with the Tourism Association, which now, as a result of that contract, we have created this outreach marketing group, which is focusing primarily on downtown Tifton and marketing the businesses that are in downtown and not just along the I-75 corridor. That's working very well. We have a great relationship with them now, and we're moving forward with that. Your golf cart signs are up. You now have a golf cart friendly community. Chief, watch out for the golf carts. Now for the good stuff. We refinanced the telecommunication loan. The old interest rate was a variable rate from 5.15% to 5.75%. The new fixed rate, that was a 20-year note, by the way. The new fixed rate is 3.25%. It's 5 years. We hope to pay it off early. And your paper says $2.6 million. If you add the $350,000 we had to pay in interest for this year, it comes up to the $3 million savings that I was telling you about earlier. We refinanced the I-75 airport loan. That was at 4.51%. The bank just lowered that interest rate for us to 2.51%. That's a $100,000 savings. We have a 5-year capital improvement plan now. That was in the budget that y'all approved. Just a few of the projects that are going on with that. We have an expansion of the senior center. 500,000 of that is CDBG money that we just got the grant for. We talked about that earlier. We had old SPOS money that was available for that as well. So that's underway. We have the Southside Sewer trunk line. That's a multi-million-dollar project underway. And then we have numerous more on here. We've resurfaced Wooden Mill Road. I don't know if y'all have been down Wooden Mill Road yet. That was a joint project between the city and county. We combined the funding we had, and we now have a road, and it's not city, county, city, county. It's all one continuous river, nice smooth asphalt. And then we received the $400,000 firefighters grant. And I can go on and on, but I won't take up a lot of your time, Mayor, but I just wanted to kind of let y'all know, oftentimes we don't look and reflect on what we actually accomplished. We sit here and we fight all these battles, we're putting out fires, and then when you have a report card like this, you look at 2 years and we've actually accomplished a lot of things that the citizens of Tifton need to be proud of. And when we're talking about citizens of Tifton being proud of, I wasn't there, but I understand we had a great turnout for the volunteer cleanup this weekend. Mayor, do you know anything about that? I know
Yeah.
Smith does. You went by?
We had Julie and
I was there with a weed eater.
with
And
the
she's
weed.
dangerous with that weed.
That was all that smoke I saw. And Shirley Martin was giving the orders, so everything was getting done.
Everything was in order. Well, I'm glad that she was there.
Yeah, she was howling. I'm sure she's not out of the she out there.
Just want to say, just thank you for everyone that turned out for that. Those kind of community events and this kind of report card that make all of us look good. And hopefully the citizens will appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Larry, one last thing on this, refinance telecommunications, that city gap. What is the payment now at the end of the year? I know we gotten up above 500.
$1.3 million annually. And that's paid for with SPOS funds now. Remember, $4.5 million of SPOS 5 funding was voted on by the citizens of Tifton to fund the retirement of that debt.
But that debt was like at 7 or 8 million. That didn't cover the entire amount.
It was
But
6.
the savings that we're gonna have is gonna help defray that. So we're actually using the SPOS funds in SPOS 5 to curb this 1.3 million each year out. So it doesn't come from the general fund anymore, right? How much general fund money will go to retire the city net debt?
Okay, there's gonna be $1.5 million that's not funded with SPOS money. That's spread across the 5 funds. And the savings to the general fund, was, do you recall what was?
Just the general fund.
Yeah.
I just want to figure.
You're talking about how much is going to come from general fund.
Yes, ma'am.
We want to continue to
$350 a year.
Okay, we're $350 a year, so we were going to buy, so that's about $1 million. We'll still be paying out about $1 million on city net debt.
Yeah. Right.
And how long will we do that?
It's scheduled to go for 5 years, but if y'all will allow us to, we'll use all the $4.5 million of SPOS monies up front, front load that city net debt, retire it. My goal is to retire the city net debt in 24 to 36 months. I think we can do it if we use the SPOS monies up front.
Okay, sounds good. And we thank the citizens too for having that SPOS file.
add something here too, on the grants and capital projects, that the project with ABAC and Conference Center, that repaving.
That's
RDC.
obviously there.
Got that on here?
Did I not?
I didn't see it, I may have just missed it.
Uh,
But that was a big project and really improved with the work that ABAC's done on their renovation, and that was a big part of that.
That RDC road, there was not one penny, not one single penny of city of Tifton tax dollars invested in that fund.
It
Not
looks
a
good.
penny. It was funded by state. It used to be the old, state aid project.
Yeah.
But that was combined in with the L Mini project.
Yeah.
So that year, they funded the state aid part of that. And then we still got resurfacing money as well. So 150, 160,000.
I just know at that conference recently with 300 and something people coming from all around South Georgia, it was quite impressive, and they were quite impressed with the facilities that we have. And I heard lots of folks making some very nice compliments, so that puzzle all fits together nicely, so.
I could add a lot more of that in this, but American people, so it's time.
We're gonna move on, thank you, Larry. Very good report, very good report. We move on now to the approval of the minutes, the approval of minutes of October the 7th regular meeting, October 10th workshop, October 15th emergency call meeting, and October 17th workshop.
Mayor, I move that we approve all of the minutes of these meetings that you just reiterated.
I've got a motion, second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by raising the right hand, saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous. We now have a consent agenda. This is where we put several items. In this case, I think there's 7 items on our consent agenda. This is the way you just put things together and vote for it all at one time. However, I want you to know that we don't just do this in a hurry. We have workshopped these things. We have seen emails on all these things. So it's not something we're just breezing through. And what I will ask now to the board, is there anything that you may want to take out of the consent agenda. For example, this number 6, if anybody feels uncomfortable with that, we can take it out and do it separate.
That was as part of Julie's motion, to remove number 6.
Okay, is there anything else you want to move out?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
we do actually have 8 items. The next page is number 87.
Wait a minute.
So don't forget it.
On the consent agenda, I've got 1, 2, 3,
The
4,
next page.
5, 6, 7.
Turn the page.
That's what it is. I showed 7.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Item 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 7.
Oh, well, I meant.
Oh, you got it, you just took 6 out.
I just want to make sure you didn't miss something.
I may be slow, but I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you, okay. All right, so we're gonna break out number 6. Oh, and by the way, Bill, this consent agenda will once it's voted on, we'll have the ordinance providing for bingos on Sunday. And have the ordinance providing for sign moratorium. Which one is that?
That's just where any signs that were erected prior to the adoption of the land development code, we put a moratorium on the enforcement of those signs until we revise the LDC and the historic preservation manual, to see whether or not
Good.
those signs may ultimately come in compliance. That's why that's the moratorium on those.
Okay, that's good for the citizens.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
Could someone erect a new sign and we would not enforce it in the next 6 months?
No,
Okay.
this only applies to signs that are in existence as of July 2nd, 2000.
All right,
Correct.
all right.
This also has the resolution providing for the amendment to the purchasing policy, which we've discussed. It also has the resolution providing for enterprise zone application, Al and Theo Baxley, for property located at 225 East 2nd. And then it has 2 beverage. This is just a redo there.
Yes, sir.
And then they both recommended, and we found that at the workshop. So having said all that, if I have a motion for approval, or a motion,
I make a motion to approve items 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Ron, are you going to cover item 6? Is that?
Yeah, we'll do that if we do this one.
Okay.
Okay, seeing no discussion. All in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. This is unanimous. Now let's go on to the number 6, which is the resolution for submitting grant application to the Georgia Department of Transportation Infrastructure Bank.
The change to this is that the project has gone from approximately 1.2 million to 700,000. I believe that's a more definitive number that Larry was able to receive.
We actually went out and got requested, I say we have a consultant, Mr. Bill, I'm sure you all know him, who was helping us on this, as well as ESG, and I know Mr. C has some concerns about the infrastructure under 20th Street. They have a device called the ground penetrating radar. They brought that in. They shot the entire line up through there. That water line out there is about 6 or 7 feet deep on average. Some places it's deeper than that. The sewer line is under that. So according to our engineers, they don't think that there's a need to move that line from under the street. However, they will make stub outs to go to each one of the side streets off of that, because they're old 2-inch galvanized lines out there. And so they'll put a 6-inch cap off of the sewer main at every one of those streets, so we can go ahead and take care of that repair while we're there. This project also includes the repair of the curb and gutter and sidewalks and any additional ADA issues that need to be addressed all the way from Moore Highway to over Sewer Road. 11,000 feet of new pavement.
Okay.
That's remarkable. I think it would.
Well, it is. It is remarkable. Okay, do I have a motion?
I move to accept this resolution.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye.
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 That's unanimous. Mr. Ronald. And that takes care of those issues.
Mr. Mayor, could I ask a question, please?
You certainly can, Bill.
You approved our request, and we appreciate that. Is there a date involved when we can start doing that?
I think it's now, isn't it?
Right now?
Sunday.
This Sunday.
That's what I want to hear. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Well, thank y'all once again, veterans, what y'all do. Appreciate you. We're moving in now to the resolutions. And we'll take those one by one. We have item 9, which is
Mayor,
a
if everyone agrees and you all allow me to, I can review them all. and take it all in one
super.
vote.
Please do. Thank you, ma'am.
The number 9 for Applebee's is a management change. Number 10 is also a management change for Inmark. Oishi Japanese Grill is an ownership change. And Zeke's Barbecue is a new application. We've done backgrounds on all of them. They came out very well, so staff recommends approval of items number 9 through 12.
Where is 115 Magnolia?
It's very close to where the Hispanic church was, almost across from behind the shopping center there. You know where 3rd Street is, just down from 3rd Street.
Yeah.
It's a little place there.
Oh, okay. Is that Ezekiel?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Joseph is into the
Okay, well, we've heard item 9 through 12.
I move that we adopt items 9 through 12, the resolutions.
Second.
I've got a motion, second, any further discussion? Seeing none, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Under resolutions, item 13, resolution authorizing the submittal of a CHIP grant application to DCA. Would that be Larry?
This is an annual housing application.
Right.
This, we fund about 20 new homeowners per round. We were very successful in 2011. That CHIP grant has expired. It's been fulfilled, as a matter of fact. Mr. Hessel came and made a presentation at the workshop. And this is a request for a new one.
I move the approval of this resolution for submitting to the CHIP grant application to DCA.
Second.
I've got a motion, second, any further discussion? What is the, how do we match that? What is, oh, good, no match.
It's the housing, so community housing improvement program grant.
Right, okay. All right, all in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous, Ms. Romer. There are no ordinances that I see on my page.
But there's another resolution, number 14.
Did I miss that one? That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? All right, number 14, resolution providing for rules of procedure at council meeting.
I left the two, we talked a little bit at the workshop about the two resolutions and the differences. One of them provides for regular meetings and then at mayor and council discretion, and the other one provides for regular and workshop meetings and the balance at council discretion.
And what, I didn't hear what you just said. The regular meetings and the workshops and what else? And the balance.
Other meetings at
Okay.
discretion of city council. Because there was a question about the balance of the meeting, so I just included discretion. So either one that you all choose to go with, I'll request adoption of that. And this calls for your procedures at council meeting. It provides the ability for your citizens to be heard. It provides for your minutes, and it provides for timing and protocol to a degree.
Have you got a number, I want to know what the number is of the one that provides for citizens' comments at both the regular meeting and the workshop.
That is going to be the second one.
I know, but does it have a number?
It does not have, it won't have a number until after it's adopted.
Well, I would like to move that we approve the second of those proposals, the one that allows for citizens' comments at both the regular meetings and the workshops, and it would be the same way that we do at citizens' meeting, at regular meetings, where people would sign up to speak for 5 minutes, as I understand it, and then a 3-minute or a second, but just, that's what it will allow for.
Yeah, did I understand the workshop, Mr. Attorney? That at the workshops, it would be the discretion of the council could vote whether to do that at each workshop, whether to allow that. I got a little confused on
You
that.
could do it any way you want to do it. But this was a means by which we have an established procedure, so it's not kind of ad hoc like it has been. And this would give, I mean, if you're going to have it, you know, if you're going to allow people to speak at one workshop, then you may want to just make that consistent throughout, so that people feel like they've got an opportunity to speak at workshops and at the regular sessions. So that's why I kind of wrote it developed two, you know, one for the workshop and regular meetings and discretions of other meetings, and then for just at your regular meetings. It all depends really kind of how you view your workshops and how you want to conduct your workshops, and you want to take that input, you know, as you're going to be reviewing issues at the workshop. So that's
Great.
great.
Thank you
But as
very
I
much.
understand the way the second one is written, and I want to be sure I understand it too, Johnny, is that the way it's written, a citizen would sign up to speak at either a regular meeting or at a workshop, and would be given 5 minutes.
Is that right?
That's
And
And
then
if
3
we
minutes.
wanted to change those rules, we could. Is that what it says?
Yes,
At that meeting?
yes.
But generally, it would just be 5 minutes and a 3-minute second.
Correct.
Now, Marilyn, when you say we could change that, you talking about the number of minutes, or you talking about whether we're gonna do it or not?
No, I think if you wanted to allow anything else other than that, at that meeting, you would
Okay.
have to change it. It's the way I read it.
Because that would be the rule that we would allow, it, and we would do the 5 and 3, but if we wanted to change anything, we could at the meeting. Is that what I understand?
That's,
You have your regular meeting and your workshop meeting that you have citizen input for, and the protocol that we go on. At any other meeting, if you all decide by vote that you want to take citizen input, you're at liberty to do that.
At any other meeting, but not at those meetings.
So this will make
Because that's the standard at those meetings.
citizen input at workshops, just like it is now.
And regular
And any
meetings.
special
So
meetings we
we could-
have that we can vote to or not to.
Right.
Is
But
that,
we
is
would
that right?
not change that standard at a workshop or a regular meeting.
That's right.
You know, to be honest with you, I've read this and, you know, I've looked at some other stuff like that. I'm still looking at the verbiage. For me, can we give at least 30 more days and look at this? Give me a little more time to review this and some other cities. Would y'all be okay with that? Mary Ann, are you okay with that?
I think one of the things that I would be thinking about is that oftentimes at the workshop, you're gonna have these various items that are gonna be coming up. And I think what we've experienced in the past.
It's inconsistency. We have an
Right.
inconsistency.
Inconsistency, an item would come up on the workshop agenda, and then we'd be taking input from the audience versus taking input at the beginning of the meeting from the agenda. So the issue is, how do you want to handle that in the workshop setting where you're addressing issues as they come up, and how are you going to take that input, you know, as they come up? And I think that's what I'm hearing from sometimes what some folks are saying, you know, council members, is that you have this workshop and you may want to hear what the citizens have to say on a particular issue that comes up in the workshop. So you may think about what's the procedure to deal with, how to deal with those issues as they come up and somebody wants to speak on that issue. But what you're really looking at now is that somebody's going to just think, okay, I know what's on the workshop agenda and I will address it before, you know, at citizens' input. So if I'm making sense, you know, a lot of times you're workshopping something and you're going from issue to issue, and it might be people that came to the workshop that wanted to speak on those particular issues? And when do you want to take their comments as you go through the workshop?
I'm
On
kind
those
of,
issues that come up.
I just want to be sure we all understand, I'm flexible, but I want to be sure we all understand, so I don't have a problem with what Chris said either.
I agree, Mayor, because I think that once we figure out how you want to handle that, when we get it down on paper, and we all have a good roadmap, and so our meetings are conducted orderly,
That's right.
and giving everybody a good opportunity.
Well, and I want this thing right, so in 4 months, we're not right back here like we've done a lot with our land development code and having to look at this thing again.
So what I need is a motion to table.
Point of order, I think we have a motion on the floor.
Oh, I thought you just asked a question, I didn't know you made a
I
motion.
did make the motion.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so we'll,
But I
what-
could withdraw it. What would be the,
You can withdraw it.
yeah, she can,
I will
there wasn't a
withdraw
second,
it.
so she can withdraw that motion. Okay, and the record will show Ms. Mariana withdrew that.
It's not included because there's no vote on it.
Okay. And,
Okay, I'll make a motion then to table, item number 14.
I second.
Till the workshop. Give me till the workshop.
November workshop.
It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah, for 3 weeks, 21 days.
I second that.
okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of tabling, please raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. That is unanimous. Okay, the ordinance was just blank, huh?
We didn't have
Okay, sure. And, the other business, item number 15, and I see Bert approaching the bench. Request for approval of statement of services relating to the annexation of East Gate subdivision and surrounding area. Mr. Bert Crowe.
Thank you. As y'all know, we've been working on annexation for about past over a year for East Gate subdivision surrounding properties. As part of that, under OCGA section 36.35, we're required to do a summary of our statement of services, which basically is a summary of the services that are currently being provided, and then also a statement stating what the city is offering to provide for that annexation. In this situation, we already provide for all services from the city of Tifton for this annexation area, with the exception of 2 areas. One being police protection, which would have to be added. 2 would be road maintenance, which would be added at that time. Other than that, we already provide for water, sewer, gas, garbage pickup. All that's already provided by the city for this county area that's included in this annexation. There's not all the, you'll see there's a map in there that shows the services are all right there, gas is there, everything's ready. It's already there, already provided, it's just that we're annexed. This is part of what is required in order to present the next step to y'all, the actual annexation. So we're requesting from staff that you approve the statement of services for this annexation, and it would help us to be able to move forward to grant the desire of really it's like 97.5% of the residents in the area to become part of the city of Tifton.
Just for those in the audience that might know where is East Gate located?
It is off the Fair Lake Road, just before you get to Fletcher Road. It's the area from close to Geo Bailey School. It would be just south of Geo Bailey School, and actually runs into where the inner landfill is, would be included in this annexation also. There's one track on the north side of Fair Lake Road, which is across the street, it's in the corner, across the street from Geo Bailey. There's one piece of property that wanted to come in with it.
Is that the Brinkley property?
I'm sorry?
Is that the Brinkley property?
I do not recall the name. It's where there's a house there that had to be demolished, and we took it out, and they're actually wanting to put the property back on there, but they want to be in the city before they renovate that property. So it's going to help do that.
What happened to our maps on the wall? In case anybody wanted to look at them.
Well, when we start with the annexation, you will have maps on top of maps and some maps. This is just a statement of that, but for the annexation, we will have all the zoning maps, we have the maps printed up that show the actual area, including every single individual, and you will also have, not only that, you'll have a listing of every one of those according to deed and title.
Right.
That'll come next meeting, you'll have all that.
Gotcha. I didn't know if anybody here in the audience would like to see exactly where it is. I know we used to have some really nice maps on the wall that would have shown that. So.
those maps are part of the change of the maps, and we put those down at the end of that change.
And so, once we've had time to do all that, then we'll come back and actually vote for the annexation.
Right.
This
This
is
is
just to set all that
strictly
up.
a statement that is required to be effective by state law on anything less than 100% annexation. And it just means, what it is, a lot of communities have service conflicts. We don't have that here.
Okay.
Around Atlanta, you may, but here we don't. We're already servicing, with the exception of adding police, and I hate to say this, but they're driving past there to get to city properties that they're already patrolling. So it's just a matter of adding in there.
That is true.
Kind of taking one of those puzzle pieces and
Yeah.
Fill it in a hole.
Yep, you're right.
it also gives you, if the annexation goes through, it encompasses all of the inner landfill, which is 82 west, just 400 feet south of 82. It'll bring
That's,
it to within 400 feet of 82.
That puts it in Mariana's district or Johnny's district. Mariana?
It's mine.
That can mess up the balance of what we did. I guess we have to clear that through the,
It goes to DOJ anyway.
yeah, it does go to DOJ. All right, so, we just need a motion to request for this approval. I have a motion.
I make a motion to request the approval.
Second.
I have a motion, second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by raising your right hand.
I have a
That's all.
question. Who's the developer of Eastgate?
Eastgate developer has actually changed. Most of those homes now within Eastgate are privately held. There's not a quote-unquote developer involved now. The developer was there when bankrupt. The current owner of the property varies from, there's, I think, 40 different individuals that own in there, I think it was, of which we checked every single property for both the tax rolls and, which included anybody that rented in that area, and also from the ownership standpoint. So it's a developed subdivision that is, for lack of a better word, completely developed. And so there's really not an owner of the subdivision other than the owners that own individual properties here.
But the reason I think that I asked this question, because the trouble we had over behind, what's that,
Brookville?
yeah, the subdivision,
Oh, yeah.
remember the problem we had?
Yeah.
And we couldn't find it, the developer didn't do the right thing about it, then we got it, and everybody blamed us for it.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure this didn't happen again, that we get something that, if somebody is fault, then we get blamed for it. That's why I think that.
Yes, ma'am.
So we stay.
The condition of the road, and was that road built to our standards and?
Yeah, it's around.
That road was built to the county specifications at the time.
Okay.
And that was back when,
Harry Dawson.
no, what's his name, Lawrence, Jason Lawrence.
Oh.
They had to go through, they went through the county development authority process. I'm aware that there is one problem at the end of it, but there appears to be nothing significant out there that would create a road failure.
Okay, all in favor, signify by raising your right hand, saying aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous. We have the board appointment. Before I go there, I want to recognize County Commissioner Melissa. And also, we had Buck was in here. Well, I know Melissa Cheever's here now, but I think Buck Regan has left. I did want to recognize our cohorts there. And just so everybody knows, Melissa is got several things she does all through the year. And I think I saw in the paper today, or Saturday, you got the co-driving in it.
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Keep a lot of folks warm through all that stuff and you do a lot of things. It's this time of year for that coat drive, and anybody that can help her with that, it'd be great. And I don't know what happened to Buck, but he was just here for a minute and gone. I don't see him.
Melissa was out cleaning up Saturday too.
We want to go in now to the, Ms. Rona, the board appointments.
We have a vacancy on the tree board that we've had for quite some time. I'm sorry, I did not update this from the workshop, I should have. We have J.D. Gruber, paper scholar, and two other board appointments on Keep Tiff Board Beautiful. We have 4 spots there that we've got to fill. Zoning Board of Appeals is Lyle Wise. And on the Downtown Development Authority, we have Harold Harper, Mary Glenn Hendricks, and Jack Stone. Planning and Zoning Commission, we have Jan Wise. Oh, there's the Keep Tiff Beautiful. I thought I put it somewhere. Duncan McCluskey and Elaine Cook. And on the Tourism Association, we have Julie Hunt. So if you guys don't mind taking them one at a time, that would be very helpful.
Okay, now,
We
hold
do
on.
have 2 applications in the packet for Downtown Development Authority consideration. W.A. Harrison and Whitney Butter.
Okay.
Have any of these people on the current boards expressed a desire to stay on the board, or have we?
They have. Harold Harper and Jack Stone called, and so did Mary Glenn Hendricks on Friday. Those 3 folks did call and let me know they were interested in continuing. I've not heard from anyone else.
We don't have anybody new for Keep Tiff Beautiful, so we have 4 vacancies there.
Right, no, sir, not
Now,
yet.
and Duncan does not want to be back on that board.
I have not heard anything from him at all.
I
don't
spoke
know if
with
Bert
him.
can speak to that.
I spoke with Duncan, he said he has some other, projects that he wants to work on that will take the time, so he did not want to be reappointed.
Okay.
Keep it beautiful so he can work on the other projects.
I'm hopeful that the article that was in the paper will bring some.
In addition to those 4, I think that you had another resignation from Keep It Beautiful, haven't you?
Who would that be?
A letter of resignation from Mr. Johnson.
That's Historic Preservation Commission.
That's
That was-
HPC.
yeah, that was a different- that was a different
Gotcha.
board.
But that is another
Yes,
position.
yes, I'm sorry, yes. That can remember that.
What about the Zoning Board of Appeals? Do we have another application for that, or is?
We have no other applications. The only thing that we have are, all of those library board applications that I mentioned to you all at the workshop.
Okay.
We do not have anything else at this time.
Well, it was a good article in the paper that it just ran on, I think it was, which day was that?
That was,
Friday, maybe?
yeah, it was over the
It
weekend.
was Sunday's paper.
Sunday. I would like for some citizens to step forward.
I did receive a call from someone wanting, an application. I provided that to her today, for Keep Tiff Beautiful, but I haven't gotten anything yet.
There's also a party that's interested in serving on the Downtown Development Board from First Community Bank, so that would be another one of that mix.
Okay. These, of course, these don't expire until December.
That's right.
So can we
and-
wait and get more applications in?
Yeah,
We don't
even
have
if
to
they-
take action immediately, do we?
No, even if they do expire, they continue to serve until they are replaced or reappointed.
Okay.
So if they expire December 31st and we haven't replaced someone, they can continue to serve.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if we have 3 of the Downtown Development Authority members who are expiring, that have, not expiring, terms are expiring, but they have expressed a willingness and an interest to continue serving, would we want to go ahead and approve that, or just for discussion?
It looks like Rona's put 2 more in here. I just want to make sure we get the biggest bang for our buck with folks that are interested in serving. So that's the only ones we've got, Rona? We don't have anybody else for the Tourism Association or Keep Tiff Beautiful?
Not at this point, and we extended our awards to 2 years, our applications.
You okay?
Yeah, this is regular.
Okay.
So I've gone back even to 3 to 4 years to look. I just don't have anything.
Okay.
Do you think that the lack of citizens volunteering is because we don't have the committee that goes out and kind of seeks involvement, or do you think it's just they're not aware of the opportunities? Or what can we do to get more folks involved?
Well, it just depends on how interested someone is in the local government. I think it's always helpful if someone receives that phone call from a council member. You know, I really do, it just goes so much further, but, you know, people have had to really make major changes in their personal lives as well as their professional lives. You know, that time allocation is different now. I think it's a combination of things. I really don't think it's any one moving thing.
I would like to make one suggestion about some of these boards, about planning and zoning, and the zoning board of appeals and tourism. I can personally call those people as a council member and talk with them and see if they're interested in serving. And then I was going to suggest that the people who took part in our government training, that we send a personal letter to them, I mean the form letter that you could develop, asking them, telling them that we have openings on several
Well, that's
boards.
actually one of the people that, the person that called.
Well,
was
I
from
would
the
like to
academy.
extend a letter to those people who were interested in city government just a few months ago. And I know some of them who took that class already serve on boards.
Yes, I do.
And Rhonda, thank you for all that. I know that's sometimes a daunting task to keep up with all that stuff, but
It is.
it's something that really helps our city, and these boards contribute a lot, so
It is,
thank you for kind of facilitating and managing all that.
You're welcome, I wish I had more.
And you get all checked up about it too.
I'm sorry. Yes, I did, I forgot about it. But really, I really wish we had more people involved in local government. We don't know what we do until we become a little bit involved.
Yeah. Okay.
So you are, just need to know what your pleasure would be to wait a little while and see if any applications come in for the article that went out. I can also try to send this letter out tomorrow and see if I can get some.
I'd like to make the motion that we postpone any board appointments until at least the December 1st, whatever our regular council meeting is in December.
December 2nd.
December 2nd, okay. And I'd like to challenge each of us to contact folks, you know, within our districts or you know, business associates, whatever that, you know, that we feel would be qualified candidates. And Latasha, if you don't mind mentioning yet again, you did do a wonderful job with the Keep to the Beautiful article. I know that was beneficial, just, you know, we do need folks to, and it's an easy process just to contact Rhonda for the application. So if it's okay with you, my motion would be that we postpone till December 2nd and hopefully have some more applications specifically for the Tifton County Tourism Association and Keep Tifton Beautiful. We really need some help there.
I'll second that. And Rhonda, you said you've already gotten some other ones in, or they said they're at least interested?
I have one person that called about an application.
Could you forward that to us as well, so we could go ahead and
As
review
soon as
that?
I get it in. I will.
Okay, okay,
Can I ask
perfect.
one other question? I know that with the Downtown Development Authority, there are specific requirements for that board based on state law. But what about these other boards? Are there any specific requirements that a candidate needs to be aware of? Do they have to be a city resident?
Well, I have a gentleman who is interested in serving on a board. He's not a city resident. I did send him an application, and he asked me that very thing today. Otherwise, I wouldn't normally have his information for you so quickly. I think I can remember it. Downtown Development Authority. You have to be a city resident,
Right.
or you have to own a business in the city limits and be a registered voter. Okay. Historic Preservation Commission, you have to be a resident of the city of Tifton. And you have to have a special interest in and/or special education.
Sure.
You don't have to have an education.
Right.
Zoning Board of Appeals, no, Did I say planning and zoning commission?
Okay.
Okay, that's planning and zoning commission. You have to live in the city limits, and you have to be, one member comes from one post. You all voted on 3 posts. One member comes from one post, 2 members come from posts 2 and 3, whatever those posts designate. That ensures that the whole city is covered. So that you do have to have.
There is specific requirements for location on that one.
And zoning board of appeals, you have to be a resident of the city.
On the planning and zoning, we need to see where people live.
That's
Who
right.
are currently
We do.
on the,
Yes, we do.
we need that information.
And you would do that research though, Ron,
Yes, I
before
would.
you would
That's right.
submit that.
What about tourism? Is there any specific for the?
I did not find anything specific for tourism.
Thank you for being right on the cutting edge.
Well, yeah, we thank Jonathan Halston. So yes, I mean, he is interested in doing something to it.
And you have to live inside the city limits.
Well, for some of them,
Yeah.
yes, for 3 or 4 of them, yes, we do.
Yeah. All right, we'll vote on this, next time. We're gonna move on. I said, now, you made a motion for a table. We seconded and discussed it, now we gotta vote for it.
There you go.
All in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous, to hold it off until next month. Okay, we don't have an executive session. What, to discuss what? All 3? Is this gonna be a long thing?
So it's all 3 of them?
Thank y'all for coming tonight, everybody.